Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when you're listening to this video. My name is Dr. Brad, and I would like to introduce the features of MYENGLISHGYM. MYENGLISHGYM is a learning management system. So that means that we collect all of the information that is necessary to run this course, and we put it in one convenient location in a classroom for the students to access. So let's take a look inside and see what we can find here. First of all, the student will click on the login. Clicking on the login, we can see that this MYENGLISHGYM has had more than 5,000 students, and we have several courses. You can see at the beginning there are some links to announcements, class forum that we'll look at later. Okay, so this information is provided for the students, and they can access it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've also put the IELTS preparation practice test links on the beginning of the page. So the students are able to click on the link and access the writing tests. Here they will get the explanation about the test, and they can click on the link and they will get the writing task for them to complete along with the graphics, and they can come to this area and they can write, and when they're finished they can submit. So they will answer the questions and they will click on finish the attempt. I have marked these, so I have the score. And we can see that the student submission, what they wrote. And then I've given them comments. I've given them the score and then also the reason for the score. And then I've given them an overall score so we know what the student has achieved in this task. So I'd like to introduce some of the important features of MYENGLISHGYM and in this program. First of all, we use a personalized learning system. So part of the course is designed to focus on the individual and their needs. In a traditional classroom setting, we have 35 to 50 or more students in university, all studying at the same time. And it's virtually impossible for the instructor to be able to target the needs of the individual. So half of the course is designed to work with the individual and identify their learning needs and advance them by filling in the gaps for the lower level programs and then helping them to advance to higher levels. We also have the classroom forum that I have mentioned here. And the classroom forum is a place where I can provide questions and assignments for the students. And the students can click on these assignments and they can access the information that I talked about in the class. So maybe there's a question, and then the students will provide their information, their answer, and then I can click on the edit. And so we can look at the submission in real time, and then I can provide edits to the information that they've provided. So this is a very unique learning tool that's really important. It helps with the communication, and we don't have to go around and look at what each individual is writing on a piece of paper. Okay, and we also have a record of all of the contents here. So the next thing that I would like to talk about is we have a chat box as well. So if the students need to communicate with the instructor at any time while they're working on their their programs, they can come here and they can leave a chat message. So we have several online learning tools that are a part of My English Gym. And the first one that I'd like to talk about is the My English Gym curriculum. So My English Gym curriculum has exercises and learning lessons to explain the key points of all of the skills that students need from pre-kindergarten to grade 12. And this is based on the curriculum of Australia, Canada, the United States, and the United Kingdom. A second program that we have focuses on the speaking. So it's the My English Gym speaking tool. And this tool will help improve pronunciation, fluency, word stress, and grammar. So the students will speak into the computer. The computer will analyze their speech and tell them if their pronunciation is correct, if their fluency is correct, or the word stress. And there are even some exercises that check their grammar. So when you're dealing with any student, it's very important to understand what skills they have when they're coming into the program. So we test the students immediately when they come into the program to understand their skill level. And last year I measured a classroom of students, and some of the students were below grade 1 when they entered the class. Other students were studying and had skills at grade 8. So this class had a full range of skills, and they were all sitting in the same class. And so you can understand why it's very difficult to teach a group of children in this circumstance. Many of the students that are at the lower level would find the information too difficult. Many of the students at the higher level find it too easy. And those two groups of students are constantly distracting the students that are in the middle group that can actually understand the information. So by personalizing the learning, we can make sure that the students are focusing on every single, on the level that they need to study. And so every single student is engaged in learning things that they can understand and things that will help them develop to the next level. So we provide, in My English Gym, we provide instructions about how to access the program. It's very important that only the student accesses this program. It uses information, artificial intelligence to understand the individual student's strengths and weaknesses. So if somebody else uses the program, then it's going to create a huge problem because the system will get confused and think that the student has different skills than they actually do. So after they take the initial diagnostic, they will get something that looks like this. You can see that we test reading strategies, vocabulary, writing strategies, and grammar and mechanics. And very easily, by looking at this graph, you can see that the student has very good vocabulary and grammar skills, but their reading skills are much lower. So we can identify that this individual needs to practice more and develop more skills in the area of reading. This may also indicate that the student has a problem that we need to address. So we can investigate further to understand what kind of difficulties the student is having in their reading. So the students' score for vocabulary and grammar are grade 5.5, so 530, 570. And the reading scores are 260. So this student is operating at a grade 3 level, but they have grade 5.5 level for vocabulary and grammar. So all we need to do is focus on the reading And if we bring those skills up, then it's going to improve them by at least 2 grade levels. So this is our strategy for IELTS, and it's our strategy for the general skills that the students need. We identify the weaknesses and build up the weaknesses and spend our time studying on the things that are at the lowest scores that need to be improved. Generally, that's definitely writing in Vietnam. Even the very good students at English suffer and struggle with writing, and sometimes speaking. So we can completely identify the skill level of the student and help them achieve their goal by improving their weaknesses. So once we do the initial analysis, the program will recommend different skills that the student should be learning to build up their areas in each of these skills. And we recommend that the student should spend more time, in this case, on reading. And you can see that there's a number of skills and exercises that are recommended. So the student would click on the recommendations and work through the skills that they need to improve their ability. So often the students can make great improvements in this area because maybe they're just missing a couple of key skills. And after learning those skills, then I've seen students jump up 1 or 2 grade points within a couple of weeks, just because we help them with the key things that they're missing.